How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of Eastasia Soft, welcome to today's stream. Today, I am continuing my playthrough of Spellagis. Boy, this is loose. This probably sounds awful, doesn't it? Hang on, let me mute this. There, that's better. Sorry about that. So, this is my third day playing this game, and it's a really fun game. I don't know how to describe it. It's a passive shooter where you get upgrades at the end of every round. So, I've had a lot of fun playing this game. I get to play it again today. And, yeah, all I need to do, excuse me, is I need to beat through level 15, and I need to beat a game with the Egyptian mage, which I don't have access to yet. Trying to remember which one I liked. I think I liked this one the most. Hi, Andrea. That being said, I'm only on stage 11, so I guess we'll see if I can beat stage 15 today. I get a trophy at least for beating stage 12. I just remember having a lot of fun with this, and I'm very happy they let me play it again today. With any luck, this Friday should be a pretty big stream. I can get all these. Because we're going to be playing the new Janyan game. With any luck. Oh yeah, I forgot the hitbox is a little bigger than I think it is. Okay. Movement speed. I could get 3 out of 4. Attack speed. No, I could get all 4. Okay. It's not quite ready for me to stream it yet, so they asked if I'd be willing to come back and play this instead, and I said, yes, please. Okay, I'm killing the snakes in one hit. Let's go. Okay, the big thing is I need to make sure not to get complacent. I got complacent last time, and I died in some of the later rounds. I can only pick one. Let's go with the feather. When you get fully upgraded properly in this game, you're basically invincible. It's kind of crazy. You just stand still and let the game play itself. But you do need a little bit of time before you get to that point. And some luck with the power-ups. I want that, and yes. Trying to go for the barrels, because I'm guaranteed to get a lot of gold from them, so that's what I'm doing. Alright. I kind of want more barrels, more damage, and yeah, max health. Excellent. Increases the barrel spawn rate, indeed. There we go. Evening Dim, look what I'm playing. Long term. need all the money we can get. This music sounds like it's straight from the NES, which is not a bad thing. You know, the NES had some bangers. Okay. Yes. Attack speed, yes. And I'll just stop there. Oh, wow. Well, I'm honored, Tim. I'm glad that you think that I am worthy of spending so much time watching me. Was there any other interesting things in your recap that you want to share? 263 hours, wow. That's more than an hour a day on average. Wow. No, it's not more than an hour. It's more than an hour every 2 days. It's like 45 minutes a day on average, something like that. Where's the barrels? I'll take that. Most watched games are games I played on Sundays. How about that? Oh, this is very good. Wait, have we ever seen these ghosts before? I don't remember them. If we have seen them, I simply don't remember. Maybe we have? I don't think so. Or maybe we haven't. My memory is just bad. It has been a few weeks since I played this. That's... Boy, I'm almost to the point where I could just stand still. Almost. It's better if I don't, though. I want that barrel. Thank you. This is nuts. With one exception, Pokemon, since you watch VGC sometimes. Okay, makes sense. Sure. I remember that snail, though. Boy, almost. Bought one of your most expensive Switch games today. Bayonetta 1? Geez, I don't even know. It's an old Switch game close to the Switch's release. I remember Lost Sphere costing me an arm and a leg. What was it? Skylanders, really? Really, that's expensive? Huh, cool. Well, glad you got it. Did you get the whole box or did you just get the game? You know, the starter pack. Because I got the starter pack and I think I still have it as a matter of fact. Or did I sell it? I can't remember. Maybe I sold it. Really, I'm surprised that that one's so expensive. It was like a launch day game, wasn't it? Or close to it. Not the big box. Okay. Just the game. Understood. Yes, I want the mirror. Very good. Okay, I think I'm essentially invincible now. We're about to find out. I am invincible, but I really want these coins. Got it for $100. Wow, that is expensive. Golly. You know, maybe I did sell it then. Wow, that's expensive. And I believe that was the final Skylanders game, too. If memory serves. Boy, that's insane. Okay, now we stand still and watch the fireworks. It was the last one. That's insane. Wow. Well, congratulations. It was only ever physical, it was never digital. I mean, that makes sense because you need the physical figures that the game comes with in order to play it, so it wouldn't make sense to sell it digitally if it'd be impossible to play it. This is wave 14 of 15, so we're almost to the end. I'm ready to move if I have to. And remember what happened last stream. Look at how much money I have. I have over 500 bucks. Yeah, I mean, I'll admit I never really got that far into Skylanders. I am still a little disappointed that it came to an end, though. I feel like Toys to Life, good lord. Oh, boy. Whew. I feel like towards the end there, it was actually getting kind of interesting. I really would have liked to see what came next, but I get it. The figures were cool. There were way too many of them, though. Like, there's what, over 200 amiibos, something like that? I think there's over 1,000 Skylanders, plus variants, which is just nuts. Okay, moving on to level 12. I should get a trophy after this one. Also that, yes, Stem, you could just make your own. Absolutely true. Okay, time to start over and play for real again. There aren't 1,000, not even with variants. Well, I know a lot of them had, like, the silver and the gold and the dark and all that stuff. Like, the few times they made Skylanders amiibos, you know, Bowser and Donkey Kong, there were, like, 4 variants of that. There was the normal of each, and then there was the dark version of each, and the dark versions of each are actually rather valuable these days because nobody bought them. So, I did. I got them. And I got their vehicles, too. With variants, etc., you have 800. Okay, well, it was close to 1,000, though. Let's do that, this. Yeah, it was just so many. And at some point, I actually had, like, 100 or 200 Skylanders. I just bought a bundle of them off eBay. They were cool and all, and I actually still have some of them, but I ended up reselling most of them just because I realized I didn't find them as interesting as I did with Amiibo. With Amiibo, with every single Amiibo figure, it was from a pre-existing character from a Nintendo something, and I've always been big on Nintendo. Skylander's not so sure. Or not so much, rather. So... yeah, I never really had the love for Skylanders. I thought it was interesting, and I certainly have respect for it for kickstarting the whole Toys to Life thing. Even if they weren't the first, they were probably the first big one to really make a breakthrough. Not to mention, for like 10 years there, it was the only anything that we had that had to do with Spyro, and I've always loved Spyro. So if anything, there's at least that. It was interesting. I wouldn't call it great, but it was interesting, and it's a nice, fun footnote in video gaming history. And yeah, the figures are cool too. Like I said, I did keep some of them, including Spyro and Cinder and I guess mainly the dragon type figurines. I kept some of those. The ones that I liked. They were cool. They were interesting. They were fun. For sure. Attack speed. I can pick one. Lifesteal. That's for sure. Yeah. Feels like I'm not getting as much money as I used to. The last level I played, I was able to completely buy out the store for the first 3 waves, and here I'm struggling to afford more than one thing at a time. It's only because I'm the Diamond Mage that I'm able to break open barrels and get a lot of money from them. At least I'm getting some pretty good RNG with cost upgrades. I'm going with the knockback. Gotta start thinking long term. Need some better RNG for my upgrade options as well, frankly. Excuse me. I want this barrel. Thank you. $69 coins, nice. I want this Untitled book, and I want that. Okay, That's what I've got to work with. You know what's surprisingly hard to find, actually, Dim, speaking of Skylanders? Surprisingly hard to find are unopened copies of the first game, Spyro's Adventure. I had to scour eBay for a while before I found one that was not opened up, and it was not in the best condition. But you know how I feel about sealed games, like there's something fun about that. Let's see. So, yeah, I hope that means that everyone who bought the game actually played it. But as a collector who kind of wants sealed stuff, it's kind of interesting that Skylanders, of all things, like, you could find those discs in case at retro game stores for like $5. They can't get rid of them. But sealed is very difficult. Not impossible. They're on eBay. They're, you know, just look for them and you'll find them. It's not an issue, but there's not many of them and they're not in the best of condition, and that is just really interesting to me. Of course, the game is, what, 2006-ish, I'd like to say, is when it came out, so... Nah, it was later than that. Was it like 2010? 2011. So the game is 13 years old, to be fair. Pretty sure Skylanders games never released sealed. Well, sealed. They didn't come in the shrink wrap, like the outward plastic wrap, but they did have the security seal on the side. And most of them, that seal is either sliced open or it's gone. So sealed, not in the same sense as what we would think of. Let's see here. One of these. I want more barrels. Well, the boxes were sealed. The big boxes were sealed. You're absolutely right. So it's hard to find the big boxes. It's hard to find the small cases with the security strips still on them. It's just interesting. I assume that means that most people who bought the game actually played it. I don't imagine there were too many people who bought something like that and then just sat on it. I hope the people who played it had fun. I know the little bit that I played of Skylanders, I had fun. There's no way I'm getting to this barrel in time. Well, here we go. Okay, never mind. Touched my mouth. Yeah, the cases inside the boxes. Like I said, the cases inside the boxes had a security strip on them. I have a graded copy of Skylanders. I have the only graded copy in the world. Nobody grades that game. I was the first one to grade it, and in the almost year since I have graded it, not a single other one has shown up on the population reports. So I would totally go over there and grab it and show it to you, but it's an Xbox case, which means the case is green, which means you wouldn't be able to see it because it'd key in with my green screen. So it'd be completely useless. Do I want... No, I don't want the evil mask. But yeah, like, it used to come, like, it didn't have shrink wrap, but it did have the security strip on it, like an old DVD or something like that. So, sealed, probably not, but unopened for sure. Yep, the Nintendo Championship carts are numbered. Yeah, I know. According to WADA, 2 of them exist 2 times. Yeah. What probably happened is that somebody sent it into WADA, wasn't happy with the grade, so they cracked open the slab and submitted it a second time. What I think is most interesting is that the same 1 or 2 copies have been making their rounds on auction sites over and over and over again. So it's like the same 2 people or 3 people or something. It's a very small number of people buy and sell the same cartridge over and over and over again. Like, they don't buy it to keep it. They buy it to try and invest off of it and try and make a profit. And usually they don't. Usually it sells for around the same as what it used to, so they just throw it in the auction house and try all over again. So, I do know that. I think that games as an investment is stupid. If you want to invest money, just throw your money in the stock market like a normal person. I feel like buying graded games to try and profit off them later is about the same as buying crypto. You might make a profit, but it's not a sure thing, and it's a huge gamble. You're right, WADA should fix the pop report, 100%. One that got a different grade shows why grading is stupid. Well, it's all subjective. It is, 100%. You're absolutely right. That is one of the major criticisms of grading, and absolutely something that I do agree is an issue with it, is that, you know, if you could just send the same thing in over and over and over and eventually gets a better grade, then why bother? Like, people have been doing that with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards for decades now, sending it to PSA over and over and over until they get the grade they want, so what's the point? So the grade itself is meaningless. Which is part of the reason why I don't care what the grade is. It's like, it is subjective. I don't care. I'm just happy to own a graded copy of a game. Like, my copy of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a 9.8A. That is objectively a very bad grade for a modern game, when you could still go to a store and get a copy off a shelf and get an A+ or an A++ with no issue. So why do I bother keeping my A if I know I could get a better copy? And, well, 2 reasons. One, I was the first person in the world to grade this game, one of the greatest games of the year, one of my favorite video games of all time. I was the first person in the world to get a grade on a copy. That's something you can never put a price on. And 2, I bought that copy on release date, and it's mine. I don't care what the grade is. It could have been a 9.4, a 9.2, could have been a 6.0 B+, and it would have hurt, but it would still be mine. And that's all I care about, is just owning something. So yeah, I totally understand, like, grading is subjective. Like, people do this with comics, people do it with coins. Anything that can be graded, people will look at it and say, you know, I think it should have been better, so they crack it open and send it back until they get the grade they do want. It is a valid criticism. I'm not denying that. Just saying, for me personally, that's not an issue because I don't care about the grade. That's all. Didn't buy a slab for $5 putting that thing. Well, I do have plastic protectors, which I use all the time for, like, my steel books and other things that I care about. I do have plastic protectors. But graded things look nicer on a shelf. There's just something cool to me about that, that's all. And I do have plenty of sealed things that I'm never going to get graded just because I don't see a point. I've got like sealed PlayStation 2 games, I've got sealed Switch games, plenty of sealed Switch games. I'm not grading them because they don't mean much to me. It's simply that I bought them and I've yet to open them up. I grade the games that I care about the most. Yes, and no to the evil mask. Just so that people, whenever they see them, either in the background of my videos or in real life when friends come over to visit, they're able to look at it and I'm able to tell them why I got it graded. For every single game, I got it graded because it's some of my favorite games. Like, even Skylander Spyro's Adventure. Part of it is just that I'm the only person in the world who bothered to grade that of all games, but it's also like, you know, it's a fun little anecdote in history to me. It was this time when toys were coming to life for the very first time. And it made waves in video gaming, just like the Wii motion controls did, and everyone started to copy it. Like, it was the beginning of something really cool that is now just reduced to the annals of history. I could show them like my Pokemon sealed games, because Pokemon's my favorite franchise. I could show them Final Fantasy VII and Remake and Rebirth and Intergrade. I have sealed copies of Zootopia. Like, you really think that Zootopia, of all things, is going to be worth something someday in graded condition? Absolutely not. But it's my favorite movie, and I got a copy of it graded so that it's in pristine condition for the rest of the time. So that's just how I feel about it. I've explained this in depth plenty before. Final wave, by the way. I can't stand still, but I'm kind of shooting off. So anyway, I started blasting. Never say never. Well, if someone were to offer me $1,000 for my copy of Zootopia, then they can have it. Just saying. Maybe if a grading company goes out of business, it'll be worth millions. There have been some, like, this is true. When the WADA bubble was going on, there were actually a lot of startup companies that were coming out of nowhere and tried to grade games. A lot of them didn't last. And they did grade games. And some people did think that because they were no longer in business, those graded games would go for a lot of money. It turns out, no. It made them even less desirable, because if it was from a business that couldn't even last a year, it just smelled of shade, essentially. We got the new character, and we got level 12 trophy way to the final. All right. Let's check out this new character. Oh yeah, and speaking of, we're fully upgraded now, nothing left for us to buy, so no need to come back to this screen. Feels nice. Okay, plus 3 damage, 50% projectile size, minus 10% attack speed. Starting items mechanism part. Every third shot fires an additional projectile. Oh wow, sounds pretty lit actually. If a big one feels like WAD, it's different. Maybe. You know, I think I mentioned this before. CGC, the comic grading company, is actually in a lot of trouble right now. Like, over the last year or two, it turns out that their slabs that they had been using to grade comic books were really easy to pry open. Like, so that you could pry it open and pull the comic out, put a lesser comic in, sell that, and regrade the original comic. And get the exact same grade on it and just rinse and repeat. Like, people were earning, I'm not kidding, like thousands of dollars a week by just submitting all their stuff to CGC, cracking it open, putting a junk comic inside, selling that for the original, and then just regrading the original over and over. It was not good. So that completely destroyed any credibility CGC had. Plus, it meant that most people who were trying to buy graded comics shied away from the prospect, or at least buying resold comics. Well, as someone who owns WADA slabs, no, those things are very hard to open up and make it invisible. The CGC one was basically you stick a knife in there and move it to the side like this and just slide the comic out. You can't do that with video games. Anyway, so then this year CGC figured out how to fix that. They created a brand new slab that is tamper-proof. If anyone were to try and get inside, then the case would essentially crack and you could tell someone tried. But the problem with this new one is that it physically actively damages the comic during the slabbing process. I've seen too many videos of people who got their returns back from CGC and they're looking at the comic and like the cover has become of the comic has become warped and has ripples and waves on it. The comic is in there too compactly, and like the slab is pressing against the cover in all directions and it's ruining it. So yeah, now not only are people afraid to buy CGC comics secondhand, but they're afraid to submit their own stuff to CGC for protection because it's only going to get damaged. I have never in my life graded a comic, but there's a new comic coming out next month from Disney that I was hoping to get multiple copies of, and slab one of them, just one, to learn the process, and two, because I think I'm going to like this, and I'm afraid to now. I am very, very afraid to submit a comic to CGC. Their video games and their movies are perfectly fine, and apparently their grading of cards is still fine, but like comics, the thing that they're known for, they're completely screwed. So graded CGC comics are less worth now than the comic raw by itself. Plenty of people have gone to eBay to sell their comic, and they leave it slabbed on eBay for months and no one buys it. They take it out of the slab and post it on eBay for the exact same price, and it sells within seconds. Nobody wants graded comics from CGC. There are competitors, and the competitors are doing okay, but yeah, you know, you never know. And also the pop reports are busted. Yeah, they don't even have pop reports for other things like movies or video games. I know that they had pop reports for cards. I don't know about comics. I only know about cards because I actually have bought one or two low-grade CGC cards from eBay just to crack the slab open to give myself a cheap copy of a card. Excuse me. So I do know that the card pop report exists, but if they don't have pop reports, that's already scummy. Well, kinda. I can excuse them not having pop reports for movies because they literally only started grading movies like a year ago. So they wouldn't have pop reports because simply not that many people have sent stuff into them. I can understand that. Every single thing I've ever sent to them movie-wise, I was the first person. Like, I had to provide them all the information, and they had to verify that these were like real movies and not just a DVD that I sealed and said, oh, it was totally a movie, it just got a low release. So the movies I can understand and I can excuse, at least for now. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 years when they get more and more, they should start making a pop report. I will say WADA was, in fact, the first video game company to make a pop report for video games. VGA has been grading games since the 2000s. Since like 2007, 2008, something like that. They didn't release their very first pop report until just earlier this year. WADA released their first pop report shortly after Carl Jobs' video, and they were the first. So, yeah, go figure. You're right, like, it should have been done a lot earlier. I'm not denying that. At least they did it, and other companies were forced to follow suit. WADA shouldn't exist anymore. Well, I'm conflicted on it. They got rid of most of their troublemakers. Like, most of the people in charge who were actually involved in the controversy, they just got rid of. Even their own co-founder, they got rid of in an effort to, I shouldn't say save face, because that's not what it was, but in an effort to make it obvious that they were serious about making themselves better. They got rid of all the troublemakers. They moved their headquarters to a different state. They hired on a lot of people who were authenticators for other more reliable companies and had been in the business for longer than WADA had existed. They've been doing a lot to make things right. I do understand, you know, there's a lot of bells you cannot unring. For sure, and I'm not saying that they're perfect right now, not by any means. But, you know, credit where credit's due, they have been trying to take appropriate steps to fix things. That being said, these days whenever I send stuff off, I use CGC for one very important reason. It is cheaper by a lot. WADA's like $50 a game and CGC is $35. CGC is the cheapest in the business. And it's not even close. But like I said, I only ever grade games that I actually care about. Like, my next batch of games is going to be like Bluey on Switch. Like, these are not games that are going to appreciate in value over time. These are not games that I think are going to be worth $1 million. Who's going to pay $1 million for freaking Bluey, huh? But, I mean, I've also got, let's see, Splatoon on Wii U, which is one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. I've got a copy of If My Heart Had Wings on Switch, which is my favorite VN. I've got Zhangnan Sword Mist Beyond the Mountains. I've got Sword and Fairy Together Forever, because that was the very first game I ever played where I saw my name in the credits. You know, I'm grading games that mean a lot to me, and it's just going to be cool to have a copy of it brand new and sealed for as long as I live. That's what I care about. And CGC is cheap, so I'll go with them. I do respect that, Dim Lord. I honestly do. I hope that you can at least appreciate that I do still like graded games for benevolent reasons, I suppose. Like, I'm not doing this to earn to speculate and to resell later. I'm just getting stuff. I can respect your opinion about WADA, and I think you can respect my opinion about graded games in general. And we could just... We can meet there. Like, we may disagree with each other, but we don't think less of the other because of it. Well, like I said, I do use plastic protectors for a lot of things, including all my steelbooks. I've got every single Disney Plus steelbook right now. There's 12 releases so far, and every single one of them is in an acrylic case. The main difference with those is I watch my steelbooks. I watch my movies. I play my video games. Even games that I have sealed right now that I don't get graded and don't plan on grading, I could open up at any time and play. I don't think I will for a lot of them, but I could. Yes. Okay. Whereas if it's graded, I don't really have that. Let me follow up on that by saying that in that sense, if it were to get damaged for some reason, then I don't feel too bad about it because I was always going to open it up anyway. So, like, if the seal gets scratched and rips apart on its own, if I were moving it off the shelf one day, for example, it's not a big deal. Whereas my graded stuff, I only collect sealed stuff. I do not understand people who grade complete in box, because to me, the appeal of complete in box is you get to open the box up and see all the stuff inside. I will never understand people who grade cartridges by themselves, because I really don't see the point in that. But if it's sealed, I prefer getting it graded, because to me it just feels like it's a bit more of a sure thing to keep it in as good condition as possible for as long as possible. Well, I don't care about what the grade letter is, but I still don't want to... I don't want it to get any more damaged if I can help it, I guess. With grading cards, you see the reason. Yeah, because when you grade a card, you get to see it in its entirety. Doesn't make much sense with video games. With video games, genuinely, like, that is the sort of thing where you just sort of have to take the grading company at face value. Like, it really is a just trust me bro system. Like a sealed game, that's fine to me because it's impossible to know what the inside looks like. You're only grading what you can see on the outside. That makes sense. But the inside, it's like, if it's complete and it's like, oh, it's got like a 9.0 manual. Well, you can't see that. You just gotta take them, you just gotta accept that they actually not only left the manual in there, but it is in fact what they say it is. That's a little less of a trusty thing for me, I guess. Oh, cartridges. Cartridges, not cards like Pokemon cards. I guess I can kind of understand that in that case, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's all just whatever people are willing to do, right? Like, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I do have acquaintances who grade stuff complete in box, and they're happy with it. It's the same reason as why I grade sealed games, is because I don't want it to get more damaged over time. And they're like, well, complete in box, everything's there, they just don't want it to get damaged. I guess I could get that. What's this? Increase attack speed by 2 when killing the enemy. Oh, yes. Yes. And that. Games are something you can actually use. Yeah, I think that's the main difference between video games and all these other things we're talking about, is they were never meant to be collectible. Or most of them weren't. As soon as I said that, I thought, well, how do you explain limited run games? But video games as a medium were always meant to be played, not collected. So to me, it's inherently cool when older games come up that are still sealed even 40, 50 years later. I mean, the Atari 2600 turns 50 in just a few years now, and yet there's still plenty of old games that are still brand new. That's really cool to me, because those games weren't ever meant to be collected. They weren't meant to be left brand new for 50 years. They were meant to be taken home, ripped apart, the box thrown in the trash, and the cartridge thrown in the console. So the fact that they're still brand new all these decades later, to me, that's really cool. And I think you and I can both agree on that. I believe we both do agree on that. So the fact that they still exist brand new when they weren't ever meant to, or put in a landfill in the desert. Yeah, if you want another copy of ET, you just go to Alamogordo and start digging. Excuse me. So I think that's part of why I love this appeal of getting these things graded, is they were not designed to be graded. Every single company that I know of that publishes games physically never intends for their games to actually be left unopened. They hope for people to buy the game and play them and love them, or at least enjoy them. It doesn't make much sense to buy something and then sit on it. So the fact that it's not meant to be collectible means that it's even cooler when it is collected. It's a little more niche. It may not make sense to a lot of people, but to me it's kind of cool. Pokemon cards, trading cards of any kind are always meant to be collected. Not if you're Josh from LRG. Ugh. I digress. Trading cards are meant to be collected. Comics, these days especially, are meant to be collected. I mean, sure, you could buy one and read it, like that's always been a thing, but ever since the 80s, maybe the 90s, publishers have been doing more and more ways of finding ways for people to collect comics instead of actually read them. So they are very... that's a new one. Sure. Okay, final wave of level 13. So comics are quite often sent straight from the factory to the grading services to be graded and preserved in the best condition possible. And sometimes games are done that more and more these days, but not really. Trading cards have always been collectible. That's why they are trading cards. They're collectible cards. They're supposed to trade with friends and you know, get ones you want. Comics have turned into collectibles. Video games have never really been collectibles. Even when Wata tried to make them as such, it was more of a speculative thing. It was more like, games like this game will be worth $1 million one day. Are you really going to let it go for less than 100,000? It was never about like, you should collect this. It was more of, you should turn this into an investment, which is the real reason why it was generating so much controversy. I've been collecting games my whole life. Egyptian Mage, by the way, we only have 1 level left. It's just that in the last 2 years, I've suddenly decided that I want to collect a different kind of game, the sealed kind. And if I'm getting them sealed, I may as well grade them to protect them. I think I like this one. I'm going to keep them up. Let's go with level 14. We only have 2 levels left and we're done. Yeah. Where they burned discs instead of pressing the disc. That was... Sometimes I wonder what they're doing over there. But then again, I can't remember the last time I actually bought a game from them. Probably last year. It's been a while, so I'm really in no position to talk. Well, like I said, Dim, for me, these are my favorite games, and I want to display them, and I want to be able to show them off, and you're right, like, just for protection purposes, you're right. No, grading them does not do any better than just putting them in a cheap slab. You're 100% right about that, but there's more to it to me than just protecting them. And perhaps I should choose my words differently. I feel like I've talked about grading games for way too long as it is. Everyone who's watching right now that isn't you and me is probably thinking, oh my god, Skull, just shut up. I'm here to watch this game. But there's more to it to me than that. At this point, I think I've pretty much explained myself. Can finally grab a drink then. Sounds good. Ooh, I want the prism. Yes. And max health. Oh, and the thing. Sure, why not? One thing that you and I can absolutely agree on, Dim, DLC are not video games and should not be nominated for Game of the Year. That's all. If Shadow of the Erd Tree wanted to be a Game of the Year, it should have actually been a game released in the current year. They should have made it a sequel or a spin-off or something, not DLC. Simple as that. Oh, but it's like a game, is the comment I most often hear, and to which I say, well, it's not. Ooh, can I get this barrel in time? Sure can. All right. Sunny Aura. There we go. Yeah, I'm not watching the Game Awards this year. There's a lot of nominees that I really hope will win. The biggest one that comes to mind is Brianna White winning Best Performance for playing Aerith in Rebirth. I absolutely love the games, and I do wish a lot of the nominees win that I think they will. But yeah, I'm not watching. I refuse. Okay, now you're getting your drink. Okay. All right. Piggy bank and magnetism. Maybe I should have gone for attack speed. Ooh, I should have gone for attack speed. Oh well. A little late now. Yes. I seem to be struggling to obtain coins. Maybe I should have gone back to Diamond Mage. Yeah, next wave, next level I'm going back to Diamond Mage. I'm going to need all the coins I can get to beat the final level. The Egyptian Mage is fun, won't lie. It's very powerful, but I miss being able to break open barrels and get a ton of coins out of them. Oh, that hurt a lot. Diamonds are a girl's best friend and you're not a girl. Heh. Speaking of... okay. Let's do that and that. I believe this guarantees cash from barrels now. Last I checked, I wasn't a girl. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. Oh, that hurts so much. Oh, that is really not good. Let me live! Let me live! Ah, barely. Okay, I want this. That's all I could get. Okay, this is really scary. I'm not shooting nearly fast enough. I have made a critical error in my upgrades. Oh, this is really scary. Oh. Okay, do I get health from this barrel? Nope. How about this one? Got some health from that? Okay, I'll take that. This is scary, but I am alive. Wave 10 down. Okay, those are really good upgrades. Hey, Tim, new upgrade, or new icon. 2024. I wonder what that stands for. Can't possibly imagine what. Wonder if it has anything to do with the current year. Nah, let's not be silly. Okay, those were just the upgrades I needed. Holy cow. Like, that's actually gonna help a lot. Twitch recap 2024. Nice. Oh, this is a lot less stressful now. Let's go. So much better. He said before getting sandwiched. Okay, give me something good. Plus attack speed. Let's go. I can only get one of these. Let's do that. Okay, some lucky upgrades might just save me this level. A Switch game with a really funny name. Is it dangerous to collect pretty girls in a dungeon? That's the Switch game with the funniest name I know. That's literally what it's called. Is it dangerous to collect pretty girls in a dungeon? Oh, it was called Happy Birthdays. Ooh, yeah, I know that game. It's a fun little game, actually. I say that about a lot of games, don't I? No, but that one actually is a fun little game. It's cute. No, you own that game. Okay, well. So you know exactly what I'm talking about, then. Speed. That and damage. Yeah. Okay, we could get all of them. Why not? Dealing some good damage. But I am a bit wrong with its name. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Yeah, I knew I wasn't 100% right, but I was close. It's a funny name, though, isn't it? Come on. I think it's based off an anime. I could be wrong. I just remember seeing it on my Twitter timeline thinking, whoa, what? And it's, yeah, that's a, straight up, it's a game. I don't own it, but I know I've seen the name. And that's funny. Pretty good game too, apparently. Huh. How about that? Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm regenerating health at 1 health per second. Very good. I'm excited because next week I am going down to Texas to see my family for the first time in a few years. It's exciting. Going to spend Christmas with them, which means that next Friday's stream, not this Friday, but next Friday's stream is going to be moved up to Thursday. Just as a heads up. Because Friday we're driving down there, Saturday we're spending the day with them, and then Sunday we're driving back. That might mean that Sunday's stream will be canceled. Again, not this Sunday, that Sunday. It's a bit of a drive, but I might be able to make it back in time, or maybe have to start an hour late. I don't know, I'll have to see. I'll have to do some calculations. Probably one of your first 25, really? That came out fairly late after the Switch came out. Not late, it came out a few years after the Switch came out. Okay, final wave. Just don't take unnecessary risks driving back. No risks, it's just, you know, it's straight drive. Just, like, drive, like, 5 minutes out of town and then 7 hours on the same road going straight north, and then another hour turn right or turn left to take another hour driving on that highway, and we're here. Okay, I wish that I was shooting this off a lot faster than I am. This makes me nervous. Oh yeah, that was pretty late then. You were a latecomer to the Switch, huh? And yet here you are with more games than I have, and I've been collecting Switch games since day one. Although, to be fair, I did sell off quite a few of my games. Still, I own over 250. I don't need to worry about coins. Just need to worry about staying alive. Yeah, I did sell a lot. At my peak, I owned over 400. Right now, I own over 250. And I think if we count every single game I've ever owned, it's over 500. Oh, that's really bad. Whew. That was close. We did it. Okay. Last stage. Let's do this. Oh. I thought for sure you had more than me. You have more games than I do. I guess just not more Switch games. Heh. I have a bot who just reviewed my fanfic. How do I know it's a bot? They used an AI to summarize the first chapter, which has nothing to do with the rest of the story, and then spend another paragraph advertising their services to commission them to make it into a webcomic. AI sucks. It sucks, sucks, sucks. I wish all AI companies a very bankrupt. Tomorrow is 238 if the mail doesn't screw up. Cool. What's going to be game number 238? Magnetism. I can get all these. Okay, let's go. Good start. All right, here we go. This is the final level. Once I beat this, I will have beaten the entire game and I'll get my platinum trophy. What a fun game this has been. Honestly, this is one of my highlights from 2024 right here. It's so simple in execution, but it's so good. Cat is being annoying. Is that the name of the game coming in tomorrow? Barrel for more cash. Your first Korean game. Oh, cool. I'm trying to think if I have any Korean games. I don't think so. But it has English. Cool. Etrian Odyssey Collection. I don't think I've ever heard of that. If it's a collection, I immediately think... I don't know why I think of Oddworld, but I think of Oddworld. You know, the PlayStation series. Can't be that. Clearly. 3 games on the 3DS. DS, okay. Attack speed. Let's go. I need to prioritize that, as we learned last round. Okay. I don't want to have to do this all over again, so I'm gonna be very careful. Try and beat this. One on 3DS and a Mystery Dungeon spinoff. Cool. And those got re-released on Switch? Sounds like fun. All right. That and that. Oh, that actually sounds really cool. A dungeon crawler where you draw your own map. I'll have to look into that then. That actually sounds like it could be fun. Or is it one of those games that I'm probably gonna suffer if I play it? Health regen, and that's it. Okay. Save my money for whatever comes next. I should stay away. Okay, I'll stay very, very far away. They are really hard. Phrasing. I didn't think I was going to get that peril loot. I guess it was just barely in my magnetism range. Let's go. Okay, got a lot more cash this time. That's what I like to see. You were never able to beat them? Oh, wow. Then, yeah, I would be absolutely screwed. I'll save my cash. I could reroll for only 9. I'm going to do that. What else can I get? That's my first reroll I've ever done. I want the mystical jar, and I'll save mine. Okay. That was my very first reroll I've ever done in this game, and I'd say it was worth it. Good to know that if you buy everything in the shop and then re-roll, you still get 4 new options instead of none, just to replace what's left. All right, very good. Yeah, I'm happy with these upgrades. Could sure use with some... Sure do with some faster attack speed, though. I'll speak of. And yes. So far, so good. Halfway through this level. Maybe I'll look up gameplay videos of that instead. How about that then? Maybe I'll watch other people play it and see if it looks like something I might want. We live in the year 2024. If I want to see the game, I don't have to buy it first. Okay. Mirror, that's exactly what I want. And yes. And there. All right. Okay, I'm not fast enough to do it quite yet. This is looking promising, though. I need all these coins, which means I gotta move, which means my speed is slow. That's fine. Now it's fast again. Faster. This speed can get ridiculously fast with the right upgrades. Right now it seems to be okay. Okay. I want attack speed, projectile, and freeze. Oh, and I could get the rabbit too. Why not? I want to pick up all these coins, please. Now stand still. Nope. Now I stand still. Nope. Okay, these wizards do not want me to stand still. I'm just gonna run then. That's fine. I know how to run. I'm officially known as a coward in the real world. Speed. Critical. Yeah, maybe someday, though. We got a new Pokemon Snap, so maybe a new mystery dungeon is in the works. I would love to see way more spin-offs. Gen 7 had, like, no spin-offs, and then Gen 8 had a ton of spin-offs, and it feels like we haven't really had any new anything since Scarlet and Violet came out. So I would love more stuff. I would love a new Pokemon Stadium, or how about like a minigame collection, like Mario Party, but with Pokemon. I would absolutely love that. That was my favorite part of Stadium anyway, not the battling, although the battling was awesome when I was a kid, finally being able to see Pokemon in a 3D environment, but the minigames were what always made me go back for more and more. You got Legends Arceus, that's a main series game, and it's part of Generation 8. The Poke Park games? Is that what they were? Huh. I guess that shows that I've never played them. Maybe I should. Okay, I am safe there, but only barely. I need more of these coins. Well, we got Legends ZA coming out next year. I'm really excited for that. Like, just give me that and Grand Theft Auto 6, and I'm probably going to be happy for the entirety of next year. Okay. Yeah, I can't stand still. Can I? Maybe. This is something. I'm really nervous about the final wave. These last few levels, they've just gotten harder and harder and harder, no matter how powered up I am. And this is the final wave of the final level, so I am concerned. $227. I want knockback, more critical. Okay, just power up myself as best as I can. If they don't touch me, I'm fine. If they spawn right beside me, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. "23 seconds. They keep hitting me, and that keeps resetting my thing. Stand by the obelisk, that might help. Nope. Okay. Last wave, let's go. This is it. Let's see how lucky we are. We get past this wave 50 seconds from now, and I get my platinum trophy and we beat in the game. There is some health there if I need it. That's good to know. I'm ready to make a dash for it if I have to. "25 seconds. "10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I think we did it. Yes! Platinum trophy. New item unlocked. What is this? Got no way of knowing. Spellmaster Platinum. Ah, yes. What a fun game, man. I'm so glad I got to play this again. Come back and finish what I started. Highly recommend this. Guys, honest to goodness, this is such a fun game. You guys should go and get it. All right, well, with any luck, I'll be back on Friday where I will be getting my playthrough of Zhanyan Sword, The Gate of Firmament. Don't hold me to that. Apparently, it's not a sure thing, but with any luck, that's what'll happen on Friday. I would be hyped if I knew for sure that we were going to be playing it. Apparently, there's a bug that has to be worked out. With any luck, it'll be worked out in the next few days, and I'll be able to start on Friday, no issue. I guess we'll just have to see. Dimlord, Andriah, thank you for popping in. Shout out to the lurkers. Shout out to everyone watching on YouTube afterwards. Whew. Fun game. Fun day. Glad I did this. On behalf of East Asia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great week, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.